What I want to do is I'm going to jump right into it. We're going to talk about becoming unshakable. Um, put a yes in the chat if you've ever experienced any type of fear or any type of doubt or any type of discomfort running this business, whether you've been in for 1 day, 1 week, 1 month, a year, 3, 4, 5 years or more, right? Put a yes in if you've ever gotten outside your comfort zone. Okay. I know I have. Funny stories, actually. Some of us who do like call workshop, where you do like hi, I only have a second. The reason I'm calling is because I start my own business. I'm really excited, XYZ, right? I didn't make a call for my first 6 months no, take that back. 7 months, 7 months in the business, right? Never made a phone call. The only way I was taught how to invite was literally just sending messages on Facebook, right? Not how we do it today. It was like writing 5 paragraph essays. And I remember the first time I made a phone call, like literally my hand was like shaking as I brought it to my head. And, I'll never forget that moment, right? Um, but you got to really become like mentally tough, right? Become bulletproof mentally. We talk about in ABC training. And I want to recap this. If you were watching Drayton's special coring, if you missed it, right, let me know. I can share like the recording. It was incredible. Like one of the best corings I've seen in a long time. Obviously you wouldn't expect any less from the Big D, but he talked about the belief cycle and in life, it's about your beliefs affect what you do, and what you do will affect your results, right? And funny story about this. So it's basically like your belief is the amount of belief you have determines the amount of potential you can tap into. Your potential taps into the action you take, and your action affects your results, and your results will actually recycle back and affect your beliefs. So here's an example about this, right? For any of you guys who are like athletes, I love track and field. That was one of my the sport that I competed in high school, and I love the story about Roger Bannister back in, I want to say maybe like the 30s, 40s. I forget what decade it was, but he was the first man, first human being, right, for that matter, to break the 4-minute mile. And prior to him, no one had ever done it, and experts believe that it was physically, humanly impossible to do it, right? So in order for him to achieve that goal, first he had to believe that he could achieve it mentally, because physically he hadn't done it yet, but he had achieved it in his mind. He got so clear, so congruent with this belief that he could break this 4 minutes and get past this brick wall, right? To follow through with it, that it allowed him to tap into this type reservoir, this deep potential, which allowed him to take massive action in competition where he was able to break it. And he became the first human being to break the 4-minute mile. Here's why this is important, right? Not only did he improve upon that time, but then the following year, get this, right? Just because one person was able to break the 4-minute mile, the following year, 37 people were able to run a mile under 4 minutes because they had seen it done. They believed now that it was possible, right? When you believe that something is possible, and you really, not only when you see it, it's, in Market America, we don't have to doubt, right? There's so many success stories. There's no need to doubt, but it's for you yourself. You have to believe yourself that it's possible, right? And so like, that's my goal. And what I'm hoping I can accomplish with this is like, everyone else today literally taught you the home shopping list, all the techniques of the business here. My goal is to literally just, sometimes I kind of understand I'm starting to understand what JR says. Like, he wishes he could grind himself up into like a powder, right? I always think JR should say an isotonic powder, though. That's my only gripe. But hey, he's a billionaire, so he can say whatever he wants, right? Grind himself up. You can take it, right? Get double IBV on it, and then you start shaking, and then you get like possessed with this belief, right? And then like you just bust out the doors and say like, get out of my way, I'm gonna make this happen, and take massive action. Okay, and then you you get kind of like, you get a little nutty, right? You become a coconut. So before I spend any more time on this, right? I think this is being recorded now, so I might regret this in the future, right? We know this the success scale, that this business is 90% psychology and 10% technique. I might even argue to say that it's even more psychology. It's 99% psychology, 99% spiritual, and 1% physical. What does that mean? It's 99% how you feel, your thoughts, your emotions, what you see, what you hear, what you touch, what you feel, what you sense, what you're hearing, like what you're seeing and what you're hearing. Those are the gateways to your heart and to your mind. So we have to constantly, daily be renewing that and be working on it, right? And so the question is, how do we follow through? Because like we all know what to do, right? Like that's what if whenever someone comes to me, especially if they've received the training, they've gone through the, like the basics of the business, and they tell me, Kevin, I don't know what to do. Like I don't want to hear that, because nothing burns me up more when people. And sorry if I get a little passionate, but I'm going to speak to everyone. 100 and how many are we tonight, right? I'm going to speak to 126 people as if you want to make six figures residually. Okay, is like we know what to do, but we have to learn how to get ourselves into an emotional state to follow through. Okay. I'm going to say that again. We have to teach ourselves and condition ourselves to get into an emotional, physical, spiritual state where we can now take action. All right. And so what I want to do is actually not even teach this myself, because I believe that we have incredible, incredible rising leaders in Philadelphia that demonstrate this on a daily basis. And the dilemma is that we only see each other on Zoom, but we don't see these people demonstrate like behind the scenes. And what I want, and I'm really grateful that these two individuals have agreed to support with this coring and to be vulnerable and to just be transparent, to just be just not hide anything and tell you like, hey, this is literally what we do, right? So the first person that I want to bring up, right, is Calvin Demetrius, right? And some of you guys who don't know, we see him, he's all over the page, always putting in work, right? Makes a ton of sacrifices. A little bit about him. He started the business, Market America, November 2019, right? Coming up on 2 years, Cal, right? From Spring Valley, New York. Background in nonprofit. He's currently an executive coordinator, but don't blink because, or if you, well, very soon to rise. He's on his way to the next level. But also to his accolades in the business, right, has helped his personally sponsored and other partners also make money in the business, is helping other people, really growing in his leadership, especially in the past couple of months, been working with him and really just very proud of where he's going in terms of his ability to mentor and coach and influence. But this past Northeast convention, November 2020, he was awarded top 3 Northeast Regional Builder of the Year, right? Being one of the top recruiters in the Northeast region. So all right, let's give a round of applause for Calvin, right? Calvin, how you doing, brother? Right, as he's getting unmuted, right? Thank you.
Yeah, I'm doing great. I'm doing great. Kev, thank you so much for having me. I'm just excited to be here. And real quick, shout out to Steve and Thomas. Happy birthday, guys.
Yeah, send these guys a message on the back end, definitely show them some love, send them some birthday cake, gifts or whatever, GIFs. And then the next person I want to bring up is Andrea Mendoza. Okay. Also, you see her like everywhere, always hustling, putting in work. Started Market America July 2017. So very soon coming up on her 3rd anniversary with the company. Originally from Atlantic City, New Jersey, background in nursing, also a rising leader, executive coordinator, soon to get to the next level, and also a top team builder in Philadelphia. Both Calvin and Andrea have both sponsored over 20 people in their careers in the business, right? So top producers, definitely have the right to be in this position to share. Andrea, appreciate you for hopping on and being willing to share tonight, right? How you doing?
Hey, Kevin, thank you so much. I appreciate you for thinking of me and for giving me the introduction to just share a little bit more. Honestly, I'm just super grateful. Happy birthday to Steve and Thomas. Congrats, guys. Thank you for everything you guys do. Always following your example. So I appreciate letting me share. Thank you, Kevin.
For sure. So what I'd like to start off with is for everyone to get to know the both of you. And like I said earlier, is that we all mainly see each other on Zoom, right? When we're doing RPAs. But, Andrea, let me start with you. And I'd like for you to maybe to just tell a little bit about like your, in maybe a minute or two, your background, how, coming from nursing, starting the business, and walk us through like a typical day, maybe within like your first year. Because I remember Andrea originally, she used to work for Atlanticare, which is a major healthcare provider, or like hospital company, whatever, in the Jersey area. so like early mornings, very, very strenuous job, very demanding emotionally and physically, and still made time to run this business at a very, very high level with a lot of intensity. So kind of, yeah, just walk us through like your experiences.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely. Just thinking about that is like, oh my God, how did I do that? Right. And it had a lot to do with the belief I had in just wanting to be better for myself and my family. For anybody that doesn't know me, my name's Andrea. I am from the Atlantic City area. Super grateful for Bruno for just thinking of me, never for prejudging me. I was already a professional registered nurse for a couple years, and yeah, I mean, I work in critical care. So all of when I'm talking critical care, I mean, my patients were either passing away or living a very poor quality of life where they truly just needed all of my time and attention at work or just in general, their families. It's critical. I mean, it's just intense. And I mean, I have to be at work at 7 a.m., be on the floor, ready to go to people's lives are on my hand. I was watching people pass away or so close to passing away. I mean, emotionally, mentally, had to like be physically present. It was tough. It was very hard. But I remember doing those, and they're not 12-hour shifts. They're like 13-hour shifts, 14-hour shifts. And maybe on a Sunday I had to like finish work and drive 50 minutes to Philadelphia just to maybe sometimes catch the end of Coring, the main segment, and then do an ABC training afterwards for partners. And I was gonna do it because of them. Finish off ABC training, drive back to Atlantic City another 50 miles, right? And wake up and show up to work at 7 a.m. the next day. And that's just maybe the first year of my business, year and a half of my business, but I'm still a nurse. I'm actually a travel nurse. So during the summer, I was in Arizona, different time zone. I was working night shift. Again, 13-hour shifts in the middle of COVID, a pandemic. We're talking crazy situations, watching people take a last breath, finish that shift, do what I gotta do, and then lead ABC training for people that I've personally sponsored and brought into the business and told them I was gonna be there for them, right? So yeah, I mean, it's 12, 13-hour shifts, 50 hours a week. It's intense, but I knew that watching people pass away and knowing that I had an appreciation for wellness and knowing that there's really very limited amount of time, right? It's later than you think. And I knew that I wanted to do more for my parents now that they were young and healthy. And more importantly, for my future family at the same time, like my job just reminded me of why I do what I do every single day. Cause I knew that I wasn't meant to just go to work 9 to 5 every single day. I had a bigger purpose and I was desperate to find it because I watched people pass away. So I hope that gives you a little bit of an idea. It's kind of like those days of like when I first started, and my belief came from I need to do more now for my family.
Kevin needs some help.
Help me, Thomas.
You can make six figures in this business, but you can still struggle unmuting and muting yourself. So anyway, thank you so much, Andrea, for for being transparent. And obviously there's a lot more you could get into. But Calvin, I want to pass it over to you too, and walk us through like a typical day in the life of Calvin Demetrius, right? So
okay, so as far as like a typical day, I'll be on.
You do and kind of
Yeah,
outside of MA and how you blend the business in.
Yeah, so I guess just starting from more of my professional background. So for those of you who don't, well, I guess Kevin said it, but work for a nonprofit organization. And before I actually used to work in Westchester, because my passion is giving back to like young adults and like youth. And the reason why is because I know for myself, that was my most difficult age. Like, trying to figure out what I wanted to do with a career, trying to figure out who I was. That was by far the most difficult point in my life. So, I always wanted to help those who were going through the same thing as me, because I know what I needed, which I didn't get. So, I started working in Westchester at a community college, helping, young adults get, just professional training, as far as like helping them with internships, resume building. But I said to myself, if, I really want to work with the people who need it the most, I need to go to the city. Right. So what I did was I applied for a job, in Harlem, and over an hour commute, but it was like, I was like, what, if I get to help underserved youth, then I don't care. Like, if I have to drive an hour, I'm gonna drive an hour. And I got there, and it was so many politics. Like, honestly, I can just be transparent. I just think it's pathetic, like, because like what happens is, we're all signed on, to help the kids, but like that's like the last thing we talk about. When you talk about, level one leadership, that's all it is. A whole bunch of people who are just terrified of losing their jobs. So, rather than, helping others succeed, what they do is they just put each other down. And, everybody just wants to keep their job. And I was just like, man, this is just awful. So, as you all know, when I first started my business, I wasn't doing much. But then, I had my magic. Yeah, Kevin's laughing at me. But yeah, I had my magic moment in Miami. Obviously, Kevin, it was during your speech. And the biggest thing for me, like, I'll say the best thing that happened for me was the pandemic. Because like, honestly, I was going to quit my job. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not a very spendful person. So I had enough money where I would be good, where I was like, you know what, if I quit my job, I'll be fine for a few months as I find another one. But, the pandemic happened, and luckily I was able to continue to work remotely. But it's so funny because like Drayton, I had a call with Drayton, and Drayton actually told me to keep my job. Because like during the pandemic, I called him and I was like, man, I want to quit, but before I quit, tell me what I need to do to make this like full-time income. And he told me not to. So, that's literally the reason why I kept my job. But, obviously I'm able to still work it remotely. But, the pandemic was by far the best thing that's ever happened, because it forced me to create a schedule for myself, because a lot of people were so confused, right, when the pandemic started, because, that commute time was gone. So I was like, how do I listen to audios? And just like my whole schedule was thrown out of whack. So the pandemic forced me to create a schedule for myself. And, as far as like what I do behind the scenes, my schedule looks a little something like this, right? So on the best days, right? It doesn't happen every day. I'm not gonna lie to you all, but the best days, I like to set my alarm clock for like 4:30, 5 a.m. And the reason why is because Eric Thomas, he wakes up at 3 a.m. So I would get up and I'd be like, Eric Thomas, he only beat me by like 2 hours, right? So I'm like, it can't be that bad, right? But I wake up and I like to play a game, and it's like how long can I go with my day before I check my phone, right? So obviously I check the phone to run the business, but some of the things that I do before I check my phone is first read the Bible. So that's one of the things I love about the team, because the team actually got me being spiritual, because like obviously I always believed in a higher power, but I didn't really practice it as often. So listening to Drayton and Allison talk about it, they talk about it all the time. So that's something I picked up. So first I read the Bible, and then right after that, I say a prayer for the day, and then after that, I write down my goals, my life goals for the day. I write that down, and then the daily goals, like what are the things that if I achieve today, it would be a successful day. Period. Right. Then after that, I read like my daily affirmations. And then after I read my daily affirmations, I say the things that I'm grateful for. Then I read my yearly goals. And I feel like I'm missing something. But yeah, so like I would say like that. But then, after that, I pick my phone up, right? Because like after that, I dare somebody to tell me no. Like, you know what I mean? Like, are you kidding me? Like all I did, for the first like hour and a half of my day, I just I put my bulletproof vest on. As far as like my vision, my beliefs, my passions, that's all I stared at, all like literally as I just got out of bed. So when I start sending out messages, like what, say, oh, Cal, it's a pyramid scheme. Somebody sent me a video yesterday talk about, oh, this is John Oliver talk about pyramid schemes and whatever the case is. I'm like, bro, do you know what my day started like? Do you know how many goals I read, my affirmations? Like, do you think I give a goddamn what you think next? You know what I'm saying? And so yeah, that's how I get started. I'm hyped. I want to read my goals right now.
Yeah. I it's funny. Me and Cal, when we were talking before, I said, Cal, I'm gonna have to use like a a stop word on you, because I know when you start going, we're gonna have to reel it in.
Let me know when. Just call.
So what I want to ask you, put a fire emoji if you're loving this already, because I'm definitely learning a lot. So what I want to ask Andrea, right, with like all the emotional stresses of just like family or your job and all of that, right, and plus the business. I mean, we all know that the business, there's ups and downs, right? How do you overcome like any negative emotions, or what do you do when you experience them, and how do you get past them to still allow yourself to be in a state where you can take action and be effective?
Yeah, absolutely, for sure. I mean, yeah, my job, I mean, and we all experience this, right? Every day, family, finances, we all experience stress. Like it's part of life. But the idea is like, hey, how do I get myself in a state of mind? Just to give you guys an idea, so like working in New York City in the middle of a pandemic, it's stressful. There's no resources, there's no people are sick. It's tough. Just the thought of like having to go into work, I would get a little bit of anxiety. Like I literally had to like mentally prepare myself to even be able to get in there. So it's just all about mental preparation, right? I'm like, all right, I had to like physically like get myself strong. I was like, if I'm gonna be in New York City in a pandemic, I gotta get my body just right? I want to protect my back. I want to protect myself. So that's where it started. It's just physically be strong, right? Mental strength comes from like, okay, I need to like almost pray to God, hey, dear God, just remind me, why am I here, right? So it's really long-term vision. I go to work to make a living, and I run a business to make a fortune. And Jim Rohn says that. So every single day, waking up at 5:30 in the morning, of course, I need awakes and mocha because it's just needed. Absolutely, 100%. We have the best products, and I needed those to just make me get ready. And then on my way to Queens, like in the train, listening to Jim Rohn every single day, or Les Brown, like literally just my mindset, just getting myself ready and get together and just getting there. And the goal is here, like, hey, why am I here? Why am I going to be here for the next 12 days? Okay, my job, I'm here to help people, but at the same time, I'm a friend making machine, right? I'm going to be so good that people want to be my friend, because when I'm done with this job, I'm going to call everybody. It's a names list. New people everywhere we go. My job is to serve, to add value, to make friends. I am a friend making machine. I'm going to use my job to build my business, because at the end of the day, I'm here to take care of my family. I'm here to just provide for them. So every single, there's like, how do I get myself emotionally together? Brendan Burchard says that, like you release tension and you set intention. So it doesn't matter who's calling my name, or nurse, like nurse, where are you, right? One of the 10 patients is like, if you can speak, I know that you can breathe. I know you're alive. So I'll be there in like 7 minutes, right? Just kind of like remind myself, like, I am here to, okay, Andrea, why are you here? Here to make friends. I'm here to build a business. I'm a friend making machine. You just see just smiles, positivity, like everybody's happy. I'm happy, you're happy, we're all good, right? So it's just really what you tell yourself. It's literally just release tension, set intention. I'm a friend making machine. Anything, any negativity is like, nope, cancel. Like, nope, I'm just gonna smile, and it's totally fine. It's really gonna be about the story you tell yourself and what you're programming yourself. So audios every single day. Awakes help. Awakes, mocha, absolutely. Love in a cup. You need that. And yeah, just kind of like keep the big picture in mind. Keep the big picture in mind. Why am I here? What's the goal? And that is the mission. And I'm here to accomplish that.
Wow. Thanks, Andrea. Appreciate it. Honestly, the way you even shared that, like I felt that, like the way you're calling nurse, like that feeling of, I see Christy smiling too, right? You could probably, I'm sure you relate. So shout out, definitely love to all the nurses on the call. Appreciate y'all. How about yourself, Cal? Like, when you hit negativity, maybe like for a minute, like kind of what are some things you do to kind of face those head on and get past it?
Well, I mean, I'll be honest, Kev, when we spoke, he told me to be, a little, go a little deep. So I'll be honest. So what happened was I reached a point in my life one time where, I was kind of looking at like, just like my family, and all the things that just made me upset. Cause like obviously single parent household, you know, my mom, you know, kind of struggling. And even when I was away in college, I found out that, you know, she almost like filed for like bankruptcy. So like, you know, all these things, right? And remember just being so angry one day, right? Where I started crying, like, you know, and I looked myself in the mirror one time. And while this happened, and it was like, I was like, bro, look at you. Like, you know what I mean? I was like, you look pathetic right now. And the realest thing that ever happened to me was like, I was like, it's your fault. And like, I mean that in like the best way possible. Cause it's like, man, you want all these things to happen, whether it's for your mom or whether it's for your family, but it's like, you're looking for somebody who's never coming, right? Like you're looking for help that's just not going to come. And the beauty is like, you don't need any help because you got you. Right. So like after that day, I made a promise to myself, like any problems, like, you know, God gave you enough strength for you to handle it. You know, like if you want your family's life to be better, it's on you. You know what I mean? Like I remember one time, like, you know, like somebody, you know, nobody got my mom flowers for Valentine's Day when, you know, I was a kid, and I was like, you know what? This will be the last Valentine's Day that ever happens. You know what I'm saying? It's just little stuff like that. So when I go through negative stuff, you know what I mean? I don't play a blame game. I look at myself in the mirror and I'm like, bro, what are you gonna do about it? You know, so like any negative aspect of the business, okay, you know, partners are quitting, get better. You know, you're not getting enough BV, sell more. Why don't you listen to some audio? So whenever there's a negative thought, you know, think about the solution, and you know, you're good enough, right? So like literally whatever it is that you want the business to be, you know, it all starts with you, right? So if there's something about your business that you want to become better, you know, start with you, and then, you know, everything else will trickle down from there.
Definitely. Love that. Definitely appreciate that. What I want to ask to the both of you, kind of as we're coming in for a landing here, two questions. The first one, you know, and I ask this to both of you, what do you both believe about yourself? Maybe just a personal question. What do you both believe about yourself that makes you believe that you deserve success? I think a lot of times, and myself too, a lot of people struggle like actually believing that they deserve it, you know, which also can lead to self-sabotage in market America and in the business and also in life. But Andrea, like for you, what do you believe about yourself that makes you believe you deserve success?
Yeah, definitely. Couple different things. I mean, and you guys know that Kevin says this. He posts it on the social media. Like he lives by this. He says, I know that I found that the harder I work, the luckier I get, right? And it really, that sums it up. But it just reminds me that, hey, you know what? Like I'm disciplined. I'm consistent. You know, like I have no problem working hard. I can work really hard and get anything I want. Like if I work at it, I'll get it, right? I just need to work. And something that I've recently come to understand after, you know, just trial and error is like, hey, I'm learning. I'm constantly learning. I can learn anything. I can learn anything. I can figure it out. I just need to keep trying, keep going at it. I can learn, I can grow, I can get better for the sake of myself, my family, others. And at the same time, it's kind of like, why was I put on this earth? You know, and I've realized, and this comes from my belief system. Like I know Calvin has mentioned God a couple different times, but same thing, you know, like internally, like what do I believe? I believe that I was put into this world, into this earth to serve the masses, to give glory to God by doing more for others. And at the end of the day, it's kind of like that's truly what's fulfilling. You know, the end is just to truly make sure that I'm here to live out my God-given purpose, and that is to help others. And this is one of the best platforms to do it with, and especially starting off with my family. You know, like they've given up so much, and I believe that if I work hard enough, I'm going to be able to provide for them, my future family, so many people in my community, and just change lives, communities for generations to come. Like I believe that strongly, and I know that if I work hard at it, I can definitely do it. So just always like, hey, you can figure it out. Just work at it. It's already done.
Awesome. How about for you, Calvin?
Well, for me, it's knowing that one, my family deserves this. Like, you know, that's because that's what I do it for. Because I'll be honest, if my focus was on like getting, I don't know, like a car or buying a house or stuff like that, like there's no way in hell I'm waking up, you know, and doing what I do. But it's like, man, my family deserves it. And I don't know how many like documentaries I need to watch, how many movies I got to see where one person changes the entire dynamic for their family. You know, like Drayton said it on stage, like when he was talking about his family tree and how, you know, he's like the first millionaire in his family. Why the hell not us? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, you know, you're telling me if I dedicate like 100% of all of my time, all of my effort, I give this my all, and how would it not work? You know what I'm saying? And God forbid, like, even if, like, let's say, even if it didn't, like, it is, but like, even if it did, like, I'd be able to look at myself in the mirror and be like, you know what, but you gave it your all though, you know? And like, it's crazy because like, you know, I like to think about it like this, you know, like my aunt, she has no idea that, you know, I'm working every day for her. Like, she just probably with my uncle, you know, they're like two big ass kids. They're probably arguing over like chips or something. This silly, but you know what I mean? But I love the hell out of them. And they have no idea that, you know, that knucklehead that, you know, they pour so much time and effort into is busting his ass because like he's thinking about them every single day, and they're going to get everything that they deserve. You know, even my mom, she knows I'm running this business, but she has no idea, you know, what possibilities this business could provide to her. Even my brother, you know, I mean, he's listening now, but like, I think like, you know, his son is about to be born. But like, you know, his name is Zael. So he has no idea that, you know, he has an uncle who's like busting his ass to make sure that, you know, he's never going to know what, you know, a college loan is. So it's like, for me, like, what do you mean? Like, my family deserves this. Like, are you crazy? Like, we've been through so much. We've helped so many people. Like, what do you mean? Like, you know, there's not a question in my mind that, you know, and because the intentions are pure. You know what I'm saying? So it's coming from such a pure place. Like, how can you feel like you don't deserve? Because if you didn't deserve it, you would have never got introduced to the business, right? You know, everything happens for a reason. Your name was on somebody's list for a reason. So if you're presented this opportunity and you choose not to do it, it's not because you don't deserve it. You know what I'm saying? Because like your name came up for a reason. So it's like, you know, you need to believe that, you know, from every fiber of your being, and I damn right do. You know what I'm saying? So that's me.
All right. So definitely I'm loving this. And just kind of close things up. I want to, and this is kind of a bonus question, right? So they're not prepared for this one. So I'm not going to surprise too much, but what's like your, you know, what's your vision for your future that you're clinging to, that, you know, keeps pushing you, you know, every day it's pulling you, and, you know, maybe you don't have the whole thing, but what's like a picture that you have in your mind that you're just running after? How about you, Andrea?
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely something that gets me going every single day. And we've heard it all the time, like, yeah, write down your goal statement, your vision board, what you tell yourself. But I take it even a step further and I put myself in that environment where I chase it and I literally jog on the boardwalk. And all I've ever wanted is peace. Like Calvin mentioned, I don't want money. I don't want stuff. I just want peace of mind, peace of, you know, I just want to make sure my family's taken care of. And, you know, yeah, money's going to afford us that. So that's what I got to get done. Right. So I go for a run. On the boardwalk in these $2-3 million homes. And I just run and I see these houses with the lights on and I just picture my family sitting around these white granite marbled kitchens, just laughing and enjoying dinner and just being happy and calm and just at peace. And I just picture my family there, and that is all I want for them. It is the best feeling ever. And I put myself in that state and I'm like, this is what I'm working for. This is why I'm doing what I'm doing. Doesn't matter what I got to do, how many hours, how many reach outs, how many no's. My family deserves it. And that's what I'm going for. So I love it. It's the best thing just to think about it. It's like, it's amazing to just be able to visualize my family. And it's like the best feeling ever. And I just know that this business has changed my life. You know, it is more than just $300. It's like, it changes life. It's changed mine. So if it can change mine, it can change yours. And just try it. Put yourself in that state of mind, like picture it, put yourself in the environment. It's absolutely life-changing and you deserve it and your family deserves it. It's amazing. So thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. And Calvin, how about yourself? You know, close us up.
Man, what I'm chasing is time freedom. You know, like I remember you know, my supervisor was like, yeah, Calvin, you know, the summer is gonna be crazy. So, you know, I might I might be able to fit in a day or two that we get off because we're not gonna be able to take off for the whole summer. And like and he's like, oh, where do you want to go? I was like, I'm not going to a goddamn place. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I have business to grow. But like in all seriousness though, you know, I did start thinking like, you know, what would I do with time freedom? And it's just like Andrea was saying, it was just a peace of mind. But like I thought about it because like, my aunt, my uncle, like I want to visit them. You know what I mean? I want to be able to go spend time with them just whenever I feel like it, just a random Tuesday, just drive up to their house and, just say hi, and then even my friends, I haven't been able to see like my friends very often because obviously, running this, I just be locked in my room, but just any day, I get to just pop by. Like I had a friend who she actually lost her father, the last day of convention. And that her father was like, he was an incredible person. And I just want to spend time with her and her family. You know what I'm saying? Like one day just pop up, just see them. And like all I envision is just having time, like because I don't know how much longer my family has. I don't know how much longer everybody's time is left on this planet. So it's just like, God, I just want to see them, you know what I'm saying? And like I want to be able to see them without having to be anxious about, my supervisor calling me, or, I'm having to go into work the next day. Like that's all I really want. You know what I'm saying? The time to spend it with like the people I like love. And then obviously with my NAACP, giving back to the community, not outside of my work hours, but like, that's really all it is. It's just like the time freedom to spend with like the people I love, because I don't know how much time they have left. That's it. It's simple.
Mm-hmm. For sure. Well, I definitely want to thank, put a one in the chat or exclamation point, put a one for Calvin and Andrea. Definitely appreciate you both being vulnerable, being willing to step up and do this. You didn't have to, but I know it definitely added a lot of value to the team and inspired a lot of other people, just dare themselves to believe, right? Like I dare you to believe in yourself and watch what happens. So, definitely message them on the back. I'm sure they can share more insights and more of their experiences for you. And I hope this was helpful. I wish everyone the very best. We got 2 weeks. Is it 2 weeks? Yeah, 2 weeks until local. So let's make it happen and change more lives. So I know we went over, so I guess we'll just close it up, right? I hope everyone has a great night and a great week.
Thank you, everybody. Have a good night.
See you guys.